Justin. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for inviting me over to your house here at Spirit Lake, Iowa. Justin is quite the avid restorer of Yamaha SSRs. He's got a great reputation. I think you guys that tune into Bonsai need to see this guy's action and his work, and we want to question him on how you go about taking these wrecked, beautiful pieces of history and bringing them back.
Well, it's a lot of hours, but I have like a small team that helps me. Friends that are specialized in certain things come and help me out, and you know, we farm little things out. I'm just a one-man show, and I couldn't get them all done without help. And got some great guys that do painting and welding and some small fab stuff, you know, and we pull them together.
That's excellent.
So it was all supposed to be just for fun, you know, to help guys out.
Well, you know, I think that's beautiful that you do that, and your love for the machines really shows in your craftsmanship. I mean, the finished product is better than showroom condition. So well done.
Thanks. If you know, some guy could probably pick them apart, but you know, they are raced pretty hard back in the day, and they're pretty tough shape, some of them, when they come.
So, let's not mention any names.
Right.
So the 78 SSR had limited production. Do you know roughly how many were produced?
Somewhere between 160, 170.
Okay.
Right in there.
Right on.
Yeah, we have about 70, I think, odd numbers in the National Registry for the SSR out of the 160 plus made. And not all those are complete sleds, of course. Some of them are just a motor, some of them just a chassis, and some of them are complete sleds, and some of them don't match each other. So, you know, it's kind of the reason we started the registry, to get guys' original engines back with their original chassis, and just to help people out. And they're so hard to get parts for. So if a guy's got an SSR, typically he's got parts. And then, you know, hopefully you can talk to him or trade him for parts that he might have and you need, and vice versa. So that part's fun.
And the networking with the Yamaha guys is pretty good.
Yeah, we're a small group, I think, compared to the Polaris and Skidoo guys. And we're always kind of in a little smaller circle compared to the other guys.
Well said.
We have a lot more limited parts available to us, I think.
A bit like the Arctic Cat.
Then the other brands do. There's so many. It seems like there's anything you want. You can either it's being made or it exists. You know, so you don't really end up really missing much for the other brands. It seems like.
Right on. Right on.
So if we're missing trailing arms for this, you're doomed for about 5 years until that turns up to finish your restoration.
Right on. Right on.
Or a fuel tank, or you know, anything like that.
Yeah, and that parts, just so everybody knows, not only they're rare, they're very expensive.
Yeah, they're starting to get really expensive.
Give us an idea about how much a piston costs for one of these.
Yeah, an original OEM piston, you know, can be upwards of $400. You know, and a set of rings, you know, a ring, single ring, about $100. You know, can be.
Wow.
Unless you get them somewhere where somebody doesn't care or don't know what they have, you know. You know, trying to find an original set of pipes is non-existent. You know, it's just stuff. There's just nothing left of them. No parts.
And like you and I were talking on the phone, it's almost hard to recreate these pipes, because, now correct me if I'm wrong, I got in a discussion with a friend of mine this morning, and he said they may be double layered.
Well,
is that the problem?
One piece fits just slightly inside the next piece, and they step up, you know.
Oh.
But my pipe guy, Shane Lang, is just awesome. He just he can make anything. It's just incredible to have him on the team.
Right on.
So.
Right on.
Yep.
So how many years have you been doing this?
Well, the restoration thing just kind of started after we quit racing. I really didn't have you know, with racing, you have no time for anything except for racing. So when you stop racing, you have lots of time. It seems like.
Yeah.
So we have open shop, and a couple of guys just called, hey, you want to work on my snowmobile? And I said, sure, bring it over. You know, so just started from there. And I think there's, in the last 2.5, maybe 3 years, there's been 1977 SRXs through in doing various different things to them, and I think maybe 7 SSRs now so far.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's just one-man guy, and as much begging as I can get from my friends to help. You know, my cousin Andy took over painting for me now, so he's just outside of town, and that really helps. So he's fantastic, and you can see his work. It's just incredible.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's super cool to have guys like Shane and Andy on helping out.
Beautiful. Can you tell me something about this sled?
Oh yeah, it's one of Dave Heighthouse's SSRs that he raced in '78 and '79. Yeah, the guys used them up, the good guys, and they had spares. So Dave's not for sure how the '79 season engine got in this chassis, because this chassis is really nice, and his chassis got used up, and he thinks his backup sled, or a sled that he raced later in the year, but didn't get a lot of damage to it. But paperwork history, with Eagle River and the Derby archives, without Chuck Decker saving all the history of all the numbers that ever raced there, these are just another snowmobile, and that's incredible that we have that resource.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, like Dave, he won the World's Championship in 1978 Superstock 3 on the SSR, and at Eagle River. So,
amazing.
and his same Superstock SSR, he finished 3rd place in the super modified class on a stock SSR.
Wow.
So he did a good job on an SSR. I think he won 4 major Superstock 3 races in '78 on one. So including his World Championship, and 2nd place at the World Series on a stock one in the 440X class even.
Incredible.
So, yeah. So Dave's been a good sport, sending me pictures of the racing and stuff on it, and I got photographs of this sled with cameras all taped to the hood that they did for ABC back in the day in New York.
No way.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Incredible. Now, you saw me looking around. I was looking for that picture, the Hall of Fame picture. Do you mind grabbing that?
Oh, sure.
So we have a picture here. I believe this is the Snowmobile Hall of Fame in Saint Germain,
Yep.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
So can you tell me something about this amazing picture?
That's me standing with the Kalamazoo team sleds from 1977. This is actually one of 4 made factory super mods by Yamaha for the guys here in the lower states. Compared to the Canadians, got a couple of them too, but we found them and restored them with it took us a year or so to get them done, and took them up to the Hall of Fame, and they're actually owned by the Drake family from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm happy. They're good caretakers of them, and they really love them, and great family, and that's about it.
Right on. Right on. The rarest of the rare.
Yeah, they're pretty rare. The Derby archives actually didn't email me when the numbers came up right. They called me. So then pretty excited. It's a unbelievable thing to happen.
Yeah. To find
and I'm glad that I found them and was able to have the resources to put them back together.
So if you have any questions about Yamaha numbers, or you want to join Justin's page, the SRX registry.
Yeah, there's the SSR registry, and then And then on Facebook, there's the 1977 SRX Registry and Information Group.
Okay.
And then the restoration group is separate from those two. Because the other two groups I wanted for the guys to share their sleds and you know, have their fun with their sleds, and I want to do my restoration separate from those two and just keep them away.
Very good. Very good. Very smart. Very smart. Well, I'm going to take this home with me.
Yeah, yeah. And I think my wife has a copy of it somewhere. So.
What do we have here?
Well, we have the beginnings of an SSR restoration, and this is actually Andre's sled, and it's 24 hours it takes you to get here if you drive from your place to my place, and just see the condition and how far we go, and how to try to get these back to as best looking as we possibly can. We can't get everything, but we sure try pretty hard to get stuff.
Do you want to show some of the problems with mine?
Yeah. It was in a pretty good accident at one time, or maybe a couple of times, where it was in a barrel roll. The chassis is twisted. It has this is crushed down, and this is all leaning. Everything from here down to here is all leaning like this. It had a track explosion too that pushed the bulkhead out on us and tore up the main part here that holds the pillow block down. Somebody at one time cut the shock towers mounts off to fab up different shocks and stuff. The guys tried everything with these to make them work better for themselves. So some of the stuff we will try to fix it and straighten it all out.
All right, on this sled, back to the Dave Heights House SSR. What did you have to deal with this restoration? That was
similar to like yours. Exploded track, pushed out bulkhead, many breaks and cracks in the main frame. The pipes were very bad condition, either dented really bad or rusted through. Shane can take an original set of pipes that are smashed up, and we cut sections out of them, and he actually, together with me kind of holding them so they stay in place and cutting and fitting, then he can weld them together and make an original set of pipes from old junk that we try to save as much of the old junk as we can, because there's just nothing out there. And
it's gold, yeah.
And duplicating, we could have made brand new pipes for it, but it doesn't look right. You know, on certain sleds it's perfect for, but when you're trying to do a period restoration and get them as close to original as possible, it's nice to have original pipes. Mm-hmm. It's one of the main things that people see.
Absolutely. Now I'm noticing these carbs. Mine did not come with carbs.
No, and I had to find a set of carbs, and luckily with the friends that we have, I found a set of carbs for yours, and yeah, they're special just for an SSR. Nothing else is for them. You know, the bells were designed by Japan, by the Japanese engineers that to work with the power jet with the hood on. Typically, a power jet requires an air box to make the right flow from the main jet, the power jet, up into the carburetor, but they designed those bells so that you didn't need an air box. So it's pretty cool.
Very awesome.
Yeah, for super stock racing, because sled was designed for super stock, not modified or super mod or anything like that. It's just for super stock class.
Beautiful. It's just immaculate. Now, this height adjustment, I don't have one of those.
No, that's added on later by the racers, just to help them, you know, adjust the front arm. Some had them, some didn't.
Quickly, right in the freezing cold.
Yeah, yeah. Factory sleds all had those pretty much, you know, and I see them time to time on other sleds, and there's a lot of holes there, and so we refinish them and put them back on.
That's beautiful. It's great how you get the plastic back as well, because you know that plastic fades, right?
Yeah, yep. Some of them, I have a guy that will make me a reproduction one, but every so often that we come in and like this one's really nice, and the original seat, I was able to save the original seat cover and the tank shroud, and some of them are just so far gone that a reproduction is what we use, and they really look good too.
Well, these are kind of nifty as well. Rubber nipples?
Yeah, this is a rubber carb cap. They're actually another super hard piece to find for them. Very difficult. The 40 millimeter cap, and just the 76 440, 77 SRX 440, and the SSR had those.
Beautiful handlebars.
Yep, had them straightened out and re-chromed, and sometimes they turn out pretty good.
That was beautiful. Great work, Justin.
Thanks, Andre.